Hi, this is Kate from Daisy Nails, creating fun, funky and fabulous nails in the comfort of your home. I ran out of breath then. Yes, lots of ums, as always at the beginning of these things. Totoro nails. Started off trying to do a bit of a glitter ombre with a polygel overlay. I'm personally not happy with the result. However, I'm still going to go through it with you. I think I possibly could have done with fading it down the nail more with a little bit of IPA or something like that. So I'm just going to zoom through this super fast. This is Roasted from Madame Glam, which I think is a discontinued one. I got it on sale last week, and I do love the colour. It really makes me think of autumn bonfires and fireworks. I mean, you know, if you're in the UK, autumn is the time we have fireworks for Guy Fawkes Night on the 5th of November. And that's what this colour makes me think of. But I think it would have been, would have been better using a pinker or purpler glitter rather than the brown one, because it has, I think, just ended up making it look as if I've got a bit of muck on my nails when it goes underneath the polygel. So anyway, I got the Nio Nails Acrygel, which is still my absolute favourite of all of the hybrid acry polygel type things that I've used. It just stays and stays and stays and stays until I finally want it to remove. Until I finally want to remove it. So yeah, this was just moulding the Acrygel onto my nail, and with an overlay. I mean, it would be the same as putting tips on your nails. I mean, I've trained to oh, there's my cat. She wanted to get on my lap. I've trained to do the tips, but I don't actually use them. I use forms when I do extensions, but this is the same as just using the tips if you do an overlay. And you're just bringing it to the end of your own natural nail. At the moment, my natural nails are quite long, so I'm taking advantage of that. Except for the little nail. The little nail isn't that, actually is an extension. Because I got it caught on something and it snapped off. The nail, that is not the extension. It was last time I was removing product. I can't even remember what it was. It caught on something and ripped the nail off. So that is an extension, but the rest of it is overlay. There we go, there's the one nail, and I think I speeded up from this point. You ready, steady, and speed up! Oh yes, hair on it. That's one of the problems of the cat walking across my lap. You end up with hair on things. So with the Acrygel application, just making sure you move the brush around so that the flat part of the brush is always on the bit of the Acrygel that how am I going to put this? That you're moulding, so you don't just keep the brush horizontal continuously. I'm showing you with my hands. Can you say no? Obviously not, because I'm doing a voiceover. So but if you watch the brush, I'm moving it around so that it's pointing down towards the sidewall and down towards the cuticle rather than keeping it horizontal. And that's how you get that shape. That's how you get that sort of the neatness in amongst the sidewalls. I was doing this watching, what was I watching? Oh, Virgin River. I've been binge watching the latest series. It's not my usual kind of TV watching, but it's comfort TV, you know. Even though terrible things happen, you know, everyone in Virgin River is going to pull together and it's all going to be all right in the end. So I was sitting cross-legged on my chair, so I do apologise about my cross-leggedness in the background of this. Oh yes, the last one is the thumb actually, isn't it? Okay, so then filing them. With the file, you want to get the sidewalls straight first. Make sure you keep your file horizontal to where you actually want the sidewall to be. So you're bringing it in gradually. And you do the end, and then you go around over the top, sort of down the sides of the cuticle. Just I mean, I have done videos on this before, but just, you know, making sure that that file is in the direction you want the nail to be shaped. I'm making no sense this morning, am I? I am so sorry. I know what I mean. Once they're filed, wipe them over with IPA to try and remove any of that dust, and then go, oh, actually, I just want to change this. Oh no, I haven't finished filing, have I? I'm just moving on to the next one. So the same again, the side walls, and then from the apex down to the side wall, you just want to get the file at the same angle that you want it to be. I know that's an obvious thing to say, but it avoids you getting those sort of bulgy bits around the side that make the nail look, well, bulky. Another word for bulky? Let me get my thesaurus out. Yeah, so that's what you're trying to do, is just to try to remove that sort of bulk at the edge, so you don't get, as Susie on Nail Career Education calls it, a muffin top, which is a brilliant description. So yes, I decided to use my Totoro DVD as the background for this, mainly because I'd downloaded a load of photographs of Totoro onto my phone and then realised that I used my phone to record these, so I couldn't then look at the pictures. So I thought, right, well, if I get my DVD of Totoro out, I can actually use that as my inspiration as well. So I used French Valley, Perfect White and Perfect Black to create Totoro, because I only did his head, I didn't do his body, just because of nail estate constraints. I'm currently drinking my coffee out of my eldest's TARDIS mug. I bought this for them last year, and it's one of those heat reactive ones, so when you look at it in the cupboard, it's just a black mug with a couple of sort of stars on it, a bit galaxy-esque, and as you fill it with the warm water, the TARDIS appears. And currently the TARDIS is now disappearing because I'm going down the mug of coffee quite quickly. Right, so I used the French Valley to start with to do the outline. Did I use the black? I can't remember. To do the outline of Totoro. So he's got quite a flat head, and then his ears come up in from that head in a very, very shallow sort of a C shape, point meeting at the top, and then from the head it's quite a shallow curve downwards towards his shoulder. And I only did the head, so once I reached the shoulder, that was where I was at my free edge of my nail. So I did quite a faint line of black here for the outline, just to give me some idea of where I was going, and then I gave that a flash cure. And then I got my French Valley and filled that in. I did do 2 coats of this, but don't worry, you don't have to sit through 2 coats. When I finished filming this video originally, it was over 80 minutes long. I'm quite proud of my editing, that I've managed to get it to under half an hour. There we go, full cure on that. And then I got a dotting tool, quite a big dotting tool, because he's got these quite big whites to his eyes, and they're widely spaced. I think I possibly did them slightly bigger than they should have been, though. I might, if it went and did this again, I might use a smaller dotting tool. So I cured those, a full cure, and then I got the black, and it took me a few goes to get those pupils where I wanted them to be. That was not the first attempt. That wiping is definitely not the first wiping of this. I think this was the final one, obviously not in view, because he's ever so slightly cross-eyed, isn't he? And then his nose, this wasn't the first attempt at his nose either. It's like a little, if you think of an apostrophe, but a straight one, straighten up your apostrophe. And it was like that. And then it's got a very thin line over the top. And I wiped it all off again because it was the thin line I got wrong. I made that far too thick. So just double checking where it goes right between the eyes. and then I flash cured that just in case. And then I got the very thin bit of black to do that very thin line over the top. Out of all of the Studio Ghibli Ghibli, however you say it, movies, Totoro is my favourite. It's the first one I ever saw. I saw it when my kids were little, but I didn't see it with my kids. My husband and I watched it when it was on TV, once the kids were in bed, one night. Okay, so next was his whiskers. He's got these long, thick whiskers that come out, 3 at each side. So we watched it and absolutely loved it. But we watched it in Japanese with the English subtitles. And then for the next quite a lot of years, every time I saw it, I had to watch it in English because I watched it with my children. And like I said in my last video, when I said I was going to try doing a Totoro nail, I do think that the Fanning girls did a great job, but I do think that Saskia May lost a lot of character in that translation. So I will always prefer watching it in the Japanese just to get that extra added dimension of character that the girls have in that one. Alright, so now just going around. I probably should have redone the outline before I did the whiskers, but I don't think it really has made much of an effect. Although if you look in the film, it doesn't have these black outlines. I think it helps on a nail, especially one with that brown glitter, which I really, really, really don't like. It looks fine when it's in the bright light because you can see all those sort of gorgeous autumn leaf colour sparkles, but just under, I mean, at the moment the sky here is a really dull grey colour and there's certainly not a single sparkle showing. It just looks like mud in my cuticle. Right, so I wanted to put some little leaves on as well, so I got my new Pistachio. Just to do a couple of little leaves just above his head. A lot of Totoro really is about nature, isn't it? Actually, I think a lot of the Studio Ghibli, however you say it, films are very much based on nature being, how would you say, sort of having its own persona, I suppose. So I added these leaves. Just thicker at one end, thinning out to the other end for sort of the point on the leaf, which, you know, you can't see because I'm still rubbish at this, but there you go, you can see now. And cured that. And these are the Madame Glam gel polishers, so they need 30 seconds in the lamp. And then I used the black to outline them. Thought because I'd outlined Totoro in black, I decided to outline everything in black. Oh, there we go, nice bit of sharpness. I did think when I was painting, because obviously that's upside down to me because it's my thumb. I thought it looked like a cute little face that way up because of the nose and the little line. There we go. There's Totoro with his leaf. All cured. On the next nail, you know, one of the sort of big things in Totoro are the soot sprites. So I did do the soot sprites. I think if I were to do Totoro nails again, I'd want to get cat bus in there. I wasn't sure how to get cat bus on such a small space. And I would want to I would maybe do on each nail, you know, when the line of Totoro and all his friends are walking along, I would quite like to get that. One on each nail. I think that'd be quite fun. But the soot sprites are absolutely essential because who doesn't love a soot sprite? I've got a friend who has Totoro tattoos, including soot sprites. They're fab. I was doing somebody's nails yesterday. She's a fantastic lady. She's in her 90s. Really lovely lady. And she's out there telling me how much she hated tattoos. And I started thinking maybe I should have long sleeves and pull it over the daisy tattoo that I've got on my forearm. And I don't think she'd realised I had it when she said it. And she had this sort of sudden awkward apology. I was like, no, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. Absolutely fine. Slightly awkward moment though. Right, so the soot sprites are little balls of fluff, essentially. You know, like, I spent some time as an au pair in Florida in the 90s, and I remember that my host mom, Christy, used to call them dust bunnies, and my mother-in-law calls them fruzzins. They're those bits of dust that end up underneath furniture. That's what I think soot sprites are based on. So they're little balls of fluff. So they have all these little fluffy, spiky bits sticking out of them. So I just used the gel that I'd actually made. Hold on, someone's just appeared in the kitchen. Hello? It's husband. He's not feeling very well. Are you coming to get some coffee? I'm doing my voiceover at the moment. Yeah. Right, yeah, sorry. Finished conversation with the husband. He's gone to make his coffee and he's closed the door. So I'm in the conservatory. So the soot sprites have these big white eyes. So I used a much smaller dotting tool, obviously, because they're smaller creatures. But yeah, I gave them their big white eyes. Right, so with the coffee time, acorns when Saskia and May and their dad originally moved into their new home. Saskia and May discover the soot sprites after acorns come bouncing down the stairs from upstairs. So I wanted to put some acorns in here. So although the acorns aren't mentioned very much in it, they are quite a big integral part of the story, I think. So the acorn has the cup at the bottom that has the tiny little stalk coming out of it from where it grows on the tree. So there's the little stalk. And then they have the green acorn coming out of the top. And put that in the lamp. I think I did a flash cure on that, just so that the coffee time didn't sort of blend in with the pistachio when I painted that on for the actual acorn part. So the acorn is, I suppose it's almost like an almond-shaped nail, but not quite. It's sort of slightly more oval and then goes into the almond-shaped point, doesn't it? And we'll see it in a minute. Or at least we would if it wasn't so blurred. Oh, by the time I was doing this, I'd actually moved and sat on the floor. So when I'd finished doing, when I finished doing the extensions, my eldest came down and asked if we could go into town to the library, so we did that. And then I came back and I did the painting. So using the evening teal, another of my new ones, I just wanted to do like a little darker line down the side of the acorn. I'm not sure this was the right colour to choose, but sort of did the job. Just to show shading, really. And then I did the same on the acorn cup with the black. One of my clients yesterday is a photography teacher and wanted a camera painting on her nails. I really enjoyed doing that. She sent me a simple picture of a camera. And it was just so easy to put together. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Right, so I then got my black, or carried on with the black, and outlined the whole of the acorns. The TARDIS has completely disappeared off this mug now. That means my coffee's cold. Oh, I do like these brushes. They just flex exactly where you want them to be. This is the Madame Glam Detailer fine liner. Oh, I can never remember what it's called. I remember when I first started doing nails and I just bought a whole bunch of cheap brushes from Amazon. Blimey, I haven't used those in a long time. It just wasn't possible to get the level of detail with them. Spending a little bit more is always worth it. Yeah, I think I flash cured that one, and let's outline. The other one. Now, on the cover of my DVD is one of Totoro's friends. He's the little white sort of, I suppose he looks a little bit like some sort of phantom. So I'm going to do him on the next nail. So I started with his ears. He's a similar shape to Totoro. He's got those sort of rounded, pointy ears. But he is much smaller, so I got most of him into this. And then he's got this flat line between the two ears. I ended up making this ear a little bit too bulky, so afterwards I went in and got some isopropyl alcohol onto my brush. Look there, it's just too bulky at the top. And wiped that off with a bit of isopropyl alcohol on my brush. Well, let's colour him in first. And I did 2 coats on him as well. You might see both coats actually, although it wasn't intentional. There you can see I've tightened that ear up a little bit there. Just removed the blobby bit at the top. See, these brushes hold enough that you can fill in a space like that without having to redo it. Right, so this little guy has got little circle eyes, like as in rings, little black rings. So I had to make the teeny tiniest, and I think I did it on the first go, which in itself is pretty much a miracle. No, I didn't, obviously, because I'm wiping it off. I think I decided it was too small. I think I needed it bigger than that. There we go. And then doing the other one the same. And pop it in the lamp. And then oh, hang about, what am I doing there? Oh, was I going over those rings again, I think. On the very last one, I wasn't sure what to do, because obviously the little nail is very small. I knew I couldn't get cat bus in, and the big oak that's near to Saskia May's house, where Totoro lives, that would have been lovely to get on, but I think your little nails... Oh, that's what I was doing then. I was outlining it. Yes, I don't think that would be a good nail to do at what's supposed to be an absolutely enormous tree. So I decided to go with another subsprite. If you did Totoro nails, what would you put on them? Leave me a comment and let me know. There we go. That's right. When I did the line between his ears, I ended up going a bit too far, so I wiped that off and did it again. And then I gave him a couple of leaves above his head again, like Totoro had. Excuse me. Do you say Totoro or Totoro? And then outlining them with black. And I'm going to put my coffee down. It's definitely too cold now. When I was a kid, I used to drink my dad's coffee dregs, which were always cold. Which I did enjoy, but I don't like cold coffee anymore. Not even if it's supposed to be cold. There we go, outlining those leaves. When you're outlining something that small, excuse me, I do apologise. When you're outlining something that small, you want the line to be as thin as possible. So it's as simple as just don't press with the brush. Use as light a movement as possible. I like to get this soot sprite using my biggest dotting tool with my perfect black, and then just drawing a circle with it. And pretty much the same as before, using the clean brush just to pull the black out to create the little fuzzing. He's a slightly bigger soot sprite than the other ones because I only did one on here. And give him an ice cure and then get the white. Again with a smaller dotting tool to do his two eyes. And as I was doing this, I realised I hadn't given the other soot sprites any pupils. So once I'd done his eyes and cured those, I got my Madam Glam liner again and just did the teeny tiniest little dots of perfect black in the middle of their eyes to make their pupils. That way they can see when Saskia and May are coming and go and hide in the skirting boards. If you haven't ever seen Totoro, I do recommend it. It is a wonderful film, and I definitely recommend watching it in Japanese with subtitles if you can. I do believe it adds an extra dimension. And then pupils on the other one. Give that a full cure. And a nice no wipe top coat. Always cap those ends, float it on, cap the ends. Nice full cure. I sometimes cure my top coat for longer than the 30 seconds. For no other reason than it makes me feel better about myself. There we go. There's my Totoro nails all finished. Which is your favourite? Mine is the first soot sprite one. Right, thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, give me a comment, tell me what your favourite Totoro character would be, which is your favourite nail, and what would you put on a set of Totoro nails. Thanks a lot. Bye.